Welcome back to Man, I'm Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? On a Monday morning. Actually quite late for a regular episode. I haven't had dinner yet. I'm going to have dinner after this. I'm a bit hungry. But still. Let's record this. I'll get into what I did today after Isabel's announcements, because I think every time I do it, I start talking and then Isabel's like, ooh, announcement. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 6:39 PM on Monday, September 14, 2020. Nothing we need to speak of today. So a few things. I started playing Opus Magnum, which is going to be the next series, replacing The Witness. I don't know when it's going to replace it, because as I've been playing with Witness, I've done... Yeah, the only things I have to do in The Witness for me right now are environmental puzzles and the obelisks. I've completed 2 of the obelisks now, and the 3rd one's very nearly done, and the 4th, we had a 4th one also very nearly done. The 4th one, which is the first one we actually did technically, I'm not sure if I'll ever complete, because it requires going to a theatre and watching videos, and I'm not sure, I don't know. My special subscriber, I kept every note I've ever gotten from a friend. I totally have to rent an off-island storage unit to hold those notes, but they're from friends, so it's worth a cost. Note librarian, Audie. And since Witness is basically coming to somewhat close to the end, to be honest, I was like, better start recording for the next one. Hey there, dear. So I was lost in thinking, I'm trying to decide a thing. I've been thinking about if I ought to move away. I kind of want to go see the world, you know. I've been watching a bunch of travel shows and going to new places. Seems like a cool way to get a start. Yeah, go for it. You're a surprise guest, and you've had your temporary stay here on Fawnhallow. Hope you've enjoyed it. You got the whole world out by radio. Well, I'm going to miss hanging out with you. We've had some real good time, chaps. Benedict will, I'm sure, be incredibly sad. But yes, I played last night, and I got the horseshoe crab, which is the final thing on our list for this month, so we can actually have a little tour of the museum, because we won't be completing it until February, I think, because the final things we might have to... Yeah, I don't know what it is for fish, but I know for bugs, but there's 2 winter bugs which we're missing, and I think January and February, so... Hooty hoo, this must be the horseshoe crab. Now, might I interest you in a few facts about it? Yes, please do. Some might say it's good luck to catch a horseshoe crab, but I am not among them, what? Though called a crab, this beast is an arthropod, and thus more akin to spiders and scorpions. Its long tail resembles a scorpion stinger, in fact, though it's quite harmless, they say. A living fossil, the horseshoe crab has been around since before the dinosaurs. There's so many living fossils, like coelacanth. With a tank-like shell, I suppose it would be the one to survive. But here's what truly rattles me to my beak. During breeding season, horseshoe crabs crawl up on the beach and make nests together, and there are hundreds of horseshoe crabs. And of that I can say no more. If everything's a living fossil, it's not really much of a special title anymore, is it? So yeah, but Witness is coming up to the end of its playthrough. We're coming up to the end. So I was like, let's start recording this new one. Why not? It's very fun. It's a bit of a weird playthrough, because I'm sure a lot of people just play through and just, you know, try and beat the level, but then very early on I was like, I want to be as minimal as possible and use as few components as possible. And it's led to very complicated and very long sequences of programming instructions, which are very interesting. I don't know, go watch it for yourself when it comes out in... It's probably actually going to be a couple of weeks, so I probably recorded this a bit early, but, you know, I just felt like it, so why not? We're going to have a look through all the fishy stuff we caught. Actually, let's have a look at our Critterpedia and see what we're missing. So deep sea creatures we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That makes sense because we only got it halfway through summer. Insects we're missing 2. These are both winter insects. I can't remember what... One of them's a dung beetle. I can't remember what the other one is. And fish we're missing... Again, just 2. I don't know which ones they are, but I guess we'll see for ourselves. When they get released. Got nice frogs. All this... This pond is lovely, although this doesn't seem like it's big enough for all these fish, to be honest. It seems a little bit cruel. I do like how it focuses on the fish, though. A new addition. Got some tadpoles and frogs over there. The gar, the pike, the snapping turtle. tadpoles, the frogs, the bitterling, which you can barely see there, the loach, kind of hidden, catfish, just vibing. Let's do it with the pond fish as well. Neon tetra, betta, nibblefish, rainbow fish, angelfish, killifish, goldfish, pop-eyed goldfish, ranchu goldfish, guppy. Okay, we probably don't need to do this for every single one. It might take a while. At least I won't read it out. Oh, I didn't even notice a horseshoe crab there. Oh, look, there's a salmon. There's even a picture of salmon on there. I'm trying to see if that says it, if that text says anything, but I can't really properly see it. A lot of fish now in this area. And this area is still very sparse. Is there anything hidden in here that we can't see? Feels a bit mean to have them like continuously swim like that, like it's a big like it's a water treadmill or something. Piranha, Sadon Bashir, Dorado, an arowana and an arapema. Can't really see it behind there. It's got all the little the dates on it. That's quite nice. So yeah, as Witness is wrapping up, record Opus Magnum. Thought I'd get that out of the way. Starting to draw the thumbnail art for Opus Magnum as well, so that'll be coming. Oh, hello, Audie. What can we keep running into you here? What's the latest? The mood lighting, the fish swimming around, the promise of underwater adventures. Here I get all the perks of being a mermaid, but I don't have to worry about getting my skin getting wrinkly. I mean, you have mostly fur, so I'm not sure that's something to worry about. I'll give you a thing because we have this in our inventory. So no, we gave Audie a present. What could it be? A nice little snack to look at the museum exhibit, I suppose. This also seems like a very, very tiny enclosure for sharks. Don't sharks need huge enclosures, right? Or is it dolphins? Maybe both. Mahi, anchovies. We don't see a lot of our deep sea creatures over here. Now look at it. Also, I'm pretty sure whale sharks are way bigger than that, surely. They're not that small. Are they? I don't know, that feels small to me. Barrel-eye, oarfish, football fish, coelacanth. Chambered nautilus. A vampire squid. Apparently it glows in the dark or something. A giant isopod. I don't know if there'll be more things which are down here. A very pretty fish collection we got going on. Wait, this seems like a good photo opportunity. Hold on. Get out of the camera. No, Audie. Yeah. Perfect. What leave you to it, Audie? Got a nice jellyfish down there. Yeah. Witness is coming to me, and honestly, Hollow Knight might be coming up to an end soon as well. Because as of recording, I have beaten Nightmare King Grim. It's actually in the next episode, I think. So it's going to be up tomorrow. Spoilers. Ooh, look at that face. Ooh, it just rose out the ground to come and greet us. This tank seems a bit empty, to be honest. Oh, the umbrella octopus, it's adorable. So that's why I was like, oh, let's get this recording out of the way and get the thumbnail art done now. And then hopefully, once Hollow Knight also comes to an end, we can get started on the game after that, which is probably Celeste. Probably. We'll see. If a lot of the games start finishing around the same time, it's going to be a bit of a nuisance, but what can you do? Anyway, I'll leave you to it, Blabbers. What was I saying? There's something I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember what it was. Something I read like literally an hour ago or something. I remember. There's a recent Twitter post from the Fall Guys devs. Well, I assume it was the devs. I didn't actually check who it was by. About their method for combating cheaters, because if you don't know, there's a decently, well, maybe not decently high, but a surprising amount of cheaters in Fall Guys, which is amazing considering how casual a game it is. Oh, CJ's here. He's our guest for today. I suppose they've been pretty hush-hush about how they're trying to combat it, which most of the community probably took it as, they're not trying to combat it. They are actually. They were doing. I think I've seen some other games do. I know Dota 2's done it. I don't. I feel like one of the battle royale shooters have done it as well. Maybe like PUBG or something. I can't quite remember. But they're doing a thing called Cheater Island, or a low priority queue, as you might better know it. But basically, if you're caught cheating and you pass a certain threshold for when the game believes you're cheating, you'll be put into the Cheater Island or the low priority queue, which means you can only be matched up with other cheaters, which in concept is absolutely hilarious. As a concept, be like, if you're cheating to ruin the fun of others, well, have fun having your own fun ruined as well, I suppose, with other cheaters also doing exactly the same thing. So I always like that concept. I know, well, I'm pretty sure Dota 2 does it as well. League doesn't do it, which is a shame, because I think it's hilarious. Most of our villagers are inside. It's going to be a bit difficult to get gifts to them. We only need 9, remember. 9 gifts. But they come out, I think we're basically saying they're not doing that idea anymore because, I suppose it ended up not being so great for their reputation because of some gifts circulating from, I don't know. You can go look up the whole detailed explanation themselves, but basically it was like they didn't get anyone initially in Cheater Island, so then they lowered the threshold and then tried again, and then like slowly Cheater Island was being populated, but of course, being Cheater Island, the fact that Fall Guys needs 60 people to start the game's basically never started, so a lot of people, I'd imagine, well, not imagine, actually, this did actually happen. They went to the support and were like, hey, my game's not loading, I'm just infinitely falling forever. But of course, the Fall Guys devs, they don't want to say anything, was like, you were a cheater, you got caught. But they can't say that because I don't know why they couldn't say that. I guess they wanted to sort of like try and stay a step ahead of the cheaters. Because if they told the cheaters about it, then the cheaters will try and find a way to circumvent it, right? Because now they're actually being punished. Or whatever, so they kept on the down low. Trying to be all like, I don't know, coy with it, I suppose. Then what happened after that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need one more fruit. Let's run to Sylvana's home, perhaps, and grab one. Yeah, eventually they started getting enough people in there to actually run like a cheaters game. And then apparently like some gifts started circulating about showing like, ever played a game where all the people in your game were cheaters, which kind of gave Fall Guys a bad reputation, which they suspect the game gifts were taken from the Cheater Island, so the person recording the gift was a cheater themselves, they just didn't display themselves as a cheater. But of course there's no like concrete way to actually prove that. So as far as the general populace knows, especially because they didn't even know, like we didn't even know about Cheater Island existing, it's just like Fall Guys has a ridiculous rampant hacker problem, which I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a rampant hacker problem. I'm not playing Fall Guys enough really to comment on that too much, but I will say that every time we played, like in one session, we've had a hacker in one of the games, which is a shame. It's just more of a shame to be like, I can't believe you'd be hacking in Fall Guys of all things. It's like, come on, it's such a casual game. Why would you do that to yourself? But, you know, whatever. Their choice, I suppose, in the end. And it's the Fall Guys is trying to, like, stay one step ahead of the cheaters, because, you know, the cheaters are quite resourceful for trying and do what they want to continue cheating in the game, presumably, because that's what they want to do, right? So, they want to cheat, they want to get the free victories, they want to rob other people their own enjoyment. And so, if the cheaters know of the systems that are underlying, but detecting the cheaters and the punishments in place, they're going to try and find ways to get around it, aren't they? Circumvent the whole situation in the first place. Or not first place, but second place. Whatever. So I understand the devs' reasons for them being so hush-hush about it. Kind of backfired on them, though. Because it kind of made it like the community was sort of like, well, we're not doing anything about it. And then when those gifts come out, there's kind of damning and be like, oh man, I can't imagine having a situation where I'm playing a game of like Tiptoe and every single person is a cheater. So yeah, they come out about it. They're saying we're abandoning that system. They're gonna be implementing, I think, like Fortnite's anti-cheat system in. I don't know how good Fortnite's anti-cheat system is because I haven't played Fortnite since like season 1 or 2 or something. So Fortnite's anti-cheat might be pretty good for all I know. I don't know if Fortnite's got a cheating problem. I think Fortnite had a bot problem a while back, didn't it? Which I don't know if that's better or worse. Actually, I'm not sure if it's a problem. Now I think about it, I think it was didn't Epic Games put like simple Fortnite bots into like round off populations for like low MMR servers or something like that. I don't really know. But yeah, the whole concept of Cheater Island, low priority queue, I always thought it was pretty cool. The one about Dota 2 isn't for cheaters because I'm not sure how rampant cheating is in Dota 2. Like, also in League, like I've seen a cheater once in like my 10 years. Well, actually, I should say I've seen a cheater that I know of once in my 10 years of playing League of Legends, which is actually absolutely absurd. So either the cheaters are really sneaky in that game, or right, anti-cheat's pretty good nowadays. I don't know what the actual answer to that is. It might be either, neither, nor. But yeah, Dota 2's got it, which League doesn't. They've got like a low priority queue. I don't think it's for cheaters. I believe it's more for people who like rage quit the game, or people who flame, or people who intentionally feed. Intentionally feed mean basically throwing the game in that aspect. Where all those people are grouped together and put into the single low priority queue, and they can only match up with each other. So sort of like if you were in the general populace's games, well, you're going to be matched up with other people who will also ruin your games because you're one of them. It's sort of like an eye for an eye sort of punishment, which, you know, not always fitting in every circumstance, but I think it fits pretty well here. I suppose the only downside is you had to sort of dedicate server resource to that rather than just outright banning them in the first place. I don't know which is better, because the problem is if you just ban them, they can just make another account again. We already gave you a present, Audie. Let's talk to you though, because otherwise you'll be really confused why we just ran in here. Hands in your pocket, please. Yeah, because if you ban them, they can just make another account. They can buy another account as well, just to circumvent the whole situation. Unless you IP ban them, that's got its own problems. Because like, what if you live with family and your family member cheats, but you don't cheat? You got like plausible deniability there, that sort of thing. We already know how to make both of these. I'm not sure about any recipes left in the game that we don't know how to make. So that's an annoying thing with banning, but putting them in low priority queue, you gotta expend resources, I'd imagine. I don't know if you do, I just imagine you do, to sustain that sort of thing. Even if it's just a small thing, even if it's just like a carbon copy. Why is this ocarina so far out? I don't know. Of a regular system, it's just like, you still have to test it, and you definitely, absolutely don't want false positives. I actually don't know what is worse in this video game, in this video gaming sense, flagging someone falsely as being toxic or a cheater when they're not, or missing cheaters. I think in most cases, having false positives is really bad, so people try and avoid that. If I vaguely remember from my statistics class. Or many statistics classes, which I don't really remember all that well, so sorry. Let's register this new song. KK Western. Are we on shuffle? We're not on shuffle. Yeah, but I don't know. The low priority queue concept is pretty fun. Of course, I see it. It's a very big problem in games like how long has that pink rose been there? In Fall Guys, where you need 60 people to start a game, but League and Dota is much simpler. You only need 10 people, so it's a lot easier to get games started. So I can see why they ran into that problem immediately of not having enough people or cheaters being flagged by the system to really start a game. Bit of an annoying circumstance, isn't it? It just does amaze me the fact that people decided to cheat in Fall Guys. I remember the first time I saw a cheater, I was like, man, that guy is moving really fast. But I was like, oh man, he probably knows some secret tactic we don't know about, because they're still relatively new to Fall Guys. Haven't played it all that much. And then it came to one of the rounds, I can't remember, he just started flying, and I was like, definitely cheating. And I was like, wow, imagine cheating in Fall Guys. It's such a casual game, but I suppose any game with a competitive element in any aspect is going to have cheaters. To be fair, there's going to be cheaters even in non-competitive games. Like, people just cheat for whatever reasons. To be fair, I suppose this is he who without sin cast the first stone. I did use an exploit. I didn't use like a cheat engine or anything. Back in Let's Go to a City, or City Folk as you might know it. If you don't know, there's a duplication glitch in yeah, exploit's the wrong word. I used a glitch in Animal Crossing Let's Go to a City or New Horizons, where if you join someone's town and then you dropped all your items and then you like used the home button and quit out of the game, something like that. The game would save, and you'd end up with items in your neighbour's town, and you kept your items, which I guess is like a fail-safe measure, because losing the items would feel terrible, but duplicating it is not that bad in Animal Crossing. Is my guess. For their way around it, maybe? I don't know. Or it's just a glitch, I don't really know. There's a lot of glitches in Let's Go to the City. I did use that to my advantage to pay off my debts. Didn't really need to, because Let's Go to the City had much smaller debts, if I remember, compared to the other games. Because you didn't have nearly as many upgrades or something. What are you looking at, Lily? A little sunshine never fails to cheer me up, pitter-patter. It's a bit dark for sunshine right now, I'll be honest. Who are we not giving presents to? Lily? Oh, what's up? Hey, if you got time, you want to do a treasure hunt with me, bruh? Oh, it's on. Oh no, I forgot how many fossils we got everywhere. Well, this could be a nightmare. We'll find out. Nah, we know how to play. We'll do our best. I guess we'll dig up all these fossils as well that we find. Hopefully, Rowan, you haven't hidden it too well. But yeah, that, like, I suppose I have used glitches before to my benefit in Animal Crossing. But Animal Crossing isn't like a competitive experience. I'm not ruining the game for anyone else. I'm just making it easier for myself to pay off for debts. Obviously, I haven't used any glitches or exploits in New Horizons. I don't actually know of any glitches or exploits in New Horizons without directly hacking the game. There was that thing a while back, wasn't it, where people were making the star fragment trees, wasn't it? That got patched anyway, so Nintendo are not very tolerant of glitches and exploits and that sort of thing. But yeah, I remember like Wild World, and maybe it was in Let's Go to a City as well, people using like Game Sharks or whatever to do the most crazy things, like you can move all your buildings out into the ocean or something like that. But Animal Crossing is very much mainly a single player experience. Well, sorry, that's not true. It's very much a social experience, but the reward systems and the like progress systems are very much tied to a single player experience. So you're really only cheating yourself by cheating. You know? And there's different lines of what you might consider cheating. Like, do you consider time travel cheating? Like, some people do, some people don't. I would say it's like is there like a low form perhaps of cheating? Not really bothered by it. If you do it, go for it. You do what you want. I choose to play day by day, but you know, some people don't have the time for it. Some people don't want to. It just depends on how you play. And in that case, I don't think those systems aren't necessarily harmful. It's of course when you bring it into games which feature other people who aren't, you know, all too wanting you to cheat in their system and ruin the experience for them, right? Where it definitely becomes a problem. So yeah, just don't cheat. It's my wise words of advice. Don't cheat the game system. If you find a glitch, that's like different, I guess. Probably. If you find an exploit. Oh my god, we only have like a minute left. Is this it? I was gonna say, I don't recognise this one. I found treasure. Good job, us. Yeah, don't cheat the system. Don't ruin it for other people. Of course, if you listen to that and be like, wow, I can't believe I'm ruining the game for other people, I'm going to stop cheating. You probably weren't cheating in the first place, to be honest. For people who listen to that and actually think that would affect them, won't be cheating on first place. So the cheaters don't care about that. That's what they're aiming for, isn't it? You found it. Nice word, dear. Hand it over so I can bend it open? Excuse me? Weird phrasing you got there, Rowan. Rimmed glasses. Thank you. I suppose we'll get these fossils analysed by blabbers. And then just sell them. Why not? We don't have much time left in this video anyway. And it's not like we've got much to do apart from water flowers. But we can't do that in 5 minutes, unfortunately. Would you like to assess some fossils for me, blabbers? I know I haven't had you do it for ages, mainly because we've found all the fossils that existed ever. I saw a suggestion a while back where someone was like, there should be like a CJ. Oh, you know, we should talk to CJ. There should be a CJ/Flick equivalent for fossils, where if you have the whole part, all the parts of a dinosaur, they can give you a mini dinosaur model. And I was like, that's genius. That's actually a genius idea. But I guess they don't want to put that in because fossils are already a furniture item. But you know, fish are already a furniture item. But sometimes you want a model. What can you do? Not really much. So yeah, don't cheat. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Your hollow victories are not worth it. What's a cool fish we can get a model of? A guppy? I guess that's kind of cool. I was saying, yeah. I don't know, because I feel like you cheat, right, to get the win, right? Does it not feel like a win because you cheated, though? I suppose it clearly doesn't, otherwise people wouldn't cheat in the first place, but, is it just like, I don't know. You know, I actually got a flashback to a random... I can't remember where I read it. Maybe it was like a blog post or something about cheaters, and this is one subset of cheaters, of people who be like, they believe they are better than they actually are. So they're like, oh, I can't climb in this game because it's my team, they're holding me back, that sort of thing. So they use cheats to like prove it to themselves that to get to the rank that they do deserve, and then they get absolutely bodied because obviously they don't belong in that rank. That sort of thing. That's like, I understand the reasoning. I don't agree with the reasoning. I feel like it's I feel like that's just a distinct lack of self-awareness or anything, if anything. I'm just saying, if you get stuck in a rank for a long time, it's probably you. Just throwing it out there, it's probably your fault. Your skill level is not quite enough to push ahead. It's not the system. Well, I mean, it depends what system you're playing with, but in these bigger titles, it's probably not the system holding you back. In fact, don't most game companies, they probably want you to feel good, right? That's how you feel good about the game and you spend more money, alright? So we probably want you to be placed a little bit higher than you actually deserve, that sort of thing. I say this to someone who's reached Master in TFT yesterday. It can just be a lucky streak to get you all the way up, but like, you never know. You never know how things go. Consistency is really one of the true determiners of skill, I suppose. Why don't we wrap this episode up then? Very cheating discussion filled episode. I mean, I'm going to go cook myself some dinner because I am hungry. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I've been Dear Darling. I just ran over a flower. Any likes, comments, and subscriptions are greatly appreciated. And join the Dear Darling Discord down in the description below, if you feel like it. Don't have to. I hope we can see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, don't cheat. Bye-bye for now.